Wow, quite a scene, and I could imagine that must have been emotionally gripping for you as well. Mike, as a narrator, how different is narrating a film from acting in a film?
Actually, in Brenda's film, I wasn't quite the narrator. I was, just voicing over some of the, the people involved, and which I suppose did require certain acting, just to make it interesting. I've done several documentaries. Recently, one about Pope John Paul II, which actually involved filming in Krakow and in the Vatican. So sometimes you get lucky when the Vatican is thrown open too. And what was remarkable was the premiere was in the Vatican, given by Pope Benedict. So, but what I loved about this particular film, it was maybe much smaller. The ambitions were, just as huge, and what was behind it, which you really need in any movie to succeed, is passion and commitment. And I feel very blessed that I have this particular, project on my resume.
And Brenda has taken, she didn't just make the film and put it on a shelf. She's taken it all over America, all over the world, made sure that everybody that she could possibly touch with this movie has been touched. And everyone who sees it responds to it and wants to know more. And
a very powerful message here is that here you have a country seeking its freedom, not unlike our country, America, in trying to become free from Great Britain. Yet our government, the U.S. government, was supporting Yugoslavia at the time and Milosevic. And that's I think that's a story that hasn't been told, or that very few people know about.
Right.
Just don't know.
And that's one of the main points of the film was, why would a democratic country not support another budding democracy? And I go in and investigate that and reveal the reasons. Our Secretary of State, Lawrence Eagleburger, worked for a Yugoslav bank. He was part of the Yugo Automobile Corporation, so he had many business interests in wanting Yugoslavia to stay together. So he was, a main advisor, obviously, to George Bush Sr., and a lot of those issues held up recognition of Croatia.
Did you run into some obstacles in trying to put the truth that was for you out there?
I did. I had certain footage in the film that was given to me for student use, and when this one company found out that I'd like to put it on television and distribute it widely on DVD across the world, they then said, you can't buy the footage, you can't have it. And so it delayed the release of the film for about a year. I had to find a lawyer, and I ended up claiming fair use on it because of the nature of the way I used it. So I was able to then distribute it.
See, this is what I love about Brenda. She's intrepid and fearless.
Yes.
And there was so much fear surrounding this particular issue, because people had been accustomed to it. They were clamped down. And to get this truth spoken with such clarity and with such vision was remarkable.
I bet you got the Croatian community behind you fully. I mean, excited and all.
Yeah, they've been wonderful. I ended up traveling all over Canada and Australia and the United States showing the film to various Croatian communities. And in Sydney, Australia, I had 1,000 people show up to one screening.
So are you using it mainly as a tool then to educate people about what took place?
For the Croatian community, I was using it as sort of a healing tool. And for any non-Croatians, it was an educational tool.
Now, we have one more clip where you actually got one of the presidential candidates involved.
Yes, Congressman Dennis Kucinich. He was in the film as an interviewee, and he spoke a lot about what was going on in the United States administration and bringing some of the truths out as to why Croatia's recognition was held up. And we have a clip of that. I don't know if you'd like to take a look.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Croatia waited and waited and waited while village after village was destroyed.
Then you see the media people seeing the same things you've seen, and they don't report it. I was there on the ground. I was there at Osijek. I was there in Vukovar. I seen the atrocities.
And it was only the determination of the Croatian people and the Croatian Americans that preserved Croatia during those days.
I was devastated by the idea that this is possible. How can a government be so brutal and so cruel to its own people.
And the media made it sound as though whatever the Croats received as far as death and destruction was something they deserved.
Well, I'm very proud to be involved, obviously, with Chapman University and have one of our students win so many awards for this film. Tell us what some of those honors have been.
Well, thank you. I won the Cine Golden Eagle Award, which was previously won by Steven Spielberg and George Lucas and Ken Burns, so that was a great honor for me. I was nominated for an International Documentary Association Award, and then there's probably a dozen other awards in various film festivals here in New York, Hollywood. I was also recognized on the congressional record of the U.S. House of Representatives, and then I was invited to Brussels to show the film at the European Parliament to various members of the United Nations and various members of European Parliament.
Great, great.
Fantastic, wow.
In addition to these awards and accolades, did you have any impact on international agencies and political groups that are involved in this kind of thing, that is a nation seeking freedom?
Yeah, Amnesty International has been a partner of mine from the beginning, and so they've helped promote the film, as well as the Adriatic Institute, which is the institute that invited me to come to Brussels. And then, of course, we showed the film on KOCE, so that was a big, for me, it was a personal accomplishment that I was hoping for.
How can our viewing audience see the film?
Well, I have it on DVD. I have a website, freedomfromdespair.com. They can also order it through KOCE, and the phone number for KOCE is 888-246-4585.
Well, I just want to say, David, thank you so much for serving as a mentor and inspiring our students to create works of art like this. It's such a privilege to have you on our faculty of our Dodge College of Film and Media Arts. And Michael York, you know, here you're such a distinguished, one of the great actors of our time, and here you're willing to do a film for a very young filmmaker, and that says a lot about you and your commitment to art, whether it's a young film student or one of the major blockbuster movies that you'll appear in.
Well, you're looking at the future, and the future looks very bright.
Well, speaking of the future, Brenda, you mentioned this Golden Eagle Award and the fact that Steven Spielberg received it. I hope when you become a future Steven Spielberg that you will not forget the Alumni Fund here at Chapman University. So thank you for reflecting so much credit, but always remember it started right here at Chapman University. Michael, thank you again for being on the show. David, Brenda, good luck, and good luck in your career, and especially at the OC channel, where we are very much involved, working together as partners.
Thank you.